Empowerment Series with R.S. Boyce.
Hi, I'm Reynard Boyce, the owner of Temple Mortgage, and this is my Empowerment Series, where we'll learn a lot about purchases, refinances, tips for veterans, investment loan products. Today, we will learn a lot and how to save a lot.
For free consultation, call the experts at Temple Mortgage LLC today.
Hi, I'm Reynard. Welcome back to the Empowerment Series. In this series, we're going to talk about mortgage products for investors, how to take advantage of the real estate market using non-traditional mortgage products for investment properties. And today I'm fortunate to have my administrative assistant and very good friend, Mr. Philip Thomas, who works in many capacities at Temple Mortgage. And Philip, we execute a lot of these no-doc loans, which enable people, investors particularly, to be able to access the equity in their property. Of course, they don't have to deal with the normal bank restrictions, and there's just no hassle. What are some of the features you like about the no-doc loan?
The main feature I like about it is it's perfect for the business owner, the self-employed individual, the one that may not have necessarily a W-2 because they pay themselves,
That's right.
and things of that nature. It's perfect, and investors,
Yeah.
it's perfect for them too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's tailor-made for investors. That's what I like about it. Because when you go to the bank, you typically run into that brick wall of restrictions because banks by nature are very conservative. But with this product, and so many people question and challenge it, they can't believe there are no financial documents whatsoever.
None.
Now, I got to warn and caution people, it is score driven. So if you have less than a 640 score, it's not going to happen. But guess what? You never go to a bank and get a loan on an investment property, first of all, with no docs, and especially with a 640 score.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just unheard of. And I'm finding in this area there are many single women that have lots of property, but people don't know how to tap or get the equity to buy more property. And I know you worked at a group home for quite some time, right?
Yeah, and in the group home industry, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
People, they need more bedrooms, they need more houses, they need more land.
Right.
And it's hard to get access to it because they are, again, the self-employed individual.
Exactly.
Everybody that works there, they're 9 times out of 10 a 1099 employee.
Okay.
So it's hard to prove income.
So for the person who, like you said, has a group home and wants to grow their business, this is the perfect product. If you have equity in property, you're able to grow your empire, so to speak, or as they say in the Bible, to enlarge your territory. Yeah. So persons are buying not only group homes, people are buying other investment properties, travel nursing.
Travel nurses, a senior citizen home.
Yeah.
Anything assisted living wise. People need homes also for the purposes of, again, investment, so they Airbnb them out.
Oh, the Airbnb. That's a
nature.
huge one. And Philip, the wonderful thing I like about the no-doc loan is that we can do them nationwide. I think there are only 2 states. So I've admonished persons to buy property in states that have the big college towns in Wilmington, where you have 5 or 6 colleges there, NCAA. So this product enables you to grow your empire. Because we know after COVID, lots of people didn't go back to work.
Sure did.
Lots of persons, my age especially, are like, how are we going to navigate your retirement plan? You don't have to worry about that yet. And I'm not quite there. But anyway, how do you navigate your retirement vehicle? Because they've been talking about, not outlawing, but disbanding Social Security. So guess what? Here's a program that will enable you to enlarge your territory, build your empire. It's legacy building, it's wealth building. I'm admonishing church groups to get together, family investment clubs. The sky is the limit as long as you have the score. All right? And you can close in your name and also in your company
name, correct.
Okay.
Your LLC,
your
and
LLC.
Corporations.
Okay, corporation.
Yeah, whatever you need, and you have, and also the incorporation part of it is perfect for the church world as well.
That's right.
Ministry of it all.
That's
because
right.
How many churches do you know that want to buy land, want to buy houses for people to transition from whatever lifestyle they were in to help them get to the next step?
Phenomenal.
It can widen any business perspective.
All right, pastors, he just gave you a plug, all right? So if you want to buy more properties, many of these churches have their small LLCs and they're buying property. Well, here's the way you can do it. And as long as the trustees or the individuals combined have the credit score, you can make it happen. Now, this no-doc loan is the most phenomenal product that has come out in years. So thank you so much. I think it's going to bless you.
For free consultation, call the experts at Temple Mortgage LLC today.
So you thought because you have great equity in your property, there would be no problem with the bank loaning you some money. But you got denied, and I'm not surprised. But good news, call Temple Mortgage. We specialize in equity-based lending. We lend based on equity, not just credit. We have great mortgage products, and your lower score, it will not stop us. We will get you the cash that the banks will leave behind. Call 757-567-6700. Hey, sometimes we all need a helping hand. Welcome back to Empowerment Series with Reynard Boyce. We're going to talk a little bit more about the no-doc loan. It's typically, or what's known in the industry as the DCSR loan, which simply means debt coverage service ratio loan, meaning that your payment or the rent that you're receiving can cover your mortgage payment. And that's one of the prime caveats of the product, that your rent must be able to cover the mortgage payment. But this loan is tailor-made for investors. There's no loan more suited for investors in the DCSR loan because it enables investors, A, to take out cash, or B, to refinance. And C, by taking out cash, they're able to expand. I've noticed that many persons in this area are expanding to the Northern Virginia area, to the DC area, the Baltimore area, because those are really some hot locations, and it's just a good place to buy properties. You can also buy multi-unit, up to 5-unit properties with this product. You can take out up to, I think, $3 million in cash or $2 million in cash and purchase up to $3.5 million in value. So this is an excellent vehicle for retirement, for expansion, for development of your portfolio. And it's just no end to what you can do. And some of the type of products you can buy: duplexes, multifamily properties, nursing homes, as Philip said in the previous segment, Airbnb. And I'm gonna give you a plug. One thing, Philip, that's really hot right now is this travel nursing industry, where persons are buying houses for travel nurses.
Yep.
And you can, if you have a nice house, you can get about $1,500 per room.
Yes,
Per room.
per room.
So if you have a 4-bedroom house, you can do a nice little chunk of change. And, you know, we have the cruise ship here now in downtown Norfolk. So there are nurses traveling there. This area, being transient, is an excellent place for doing travel nursing or student housing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And a lot of people say, I don't want to have students. Well, guess what? I'm going to give a plug to Hampton University. They have an awesome nursing program. And one thing about the program, they have to stay on campus.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's
okay.
correct.
So you're not dealing with the freshman who's going to tear up your house. You're dealing with nursing students and pharmaceutical students. They have an awesome pharmaceutical studies program over there. So these products are tailor-made. Or many persons have children about to attend college.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, they do.
So they can buy a house in the city, if they can find one, that their child is going to attend that school in that city.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And so therefore they have this home that even when their child graduates, they can have an income generating property for the duration.
Exactly.
Or when your child graduates, you can sell it. Because the property will certainly grow over time.
Definitely.
And any property in a college town is going to be a hot commodity. So these are some of the tips. These are some of the ways that you can use the no-doc product. It's a powerful product. Like I said, you can do it nationwide. And if you're smart and you work together and you put a family group together, it is a legacy wealth building product. Thank you, and tune in for the next segment.
For free consultation, call the experts at Temple Mortgage LLC today.
Need a loan? We have no-doc investor loans. Absolutely no income docs required. We can do this loan anywhere, any state, anywhere, up to $3 million, including Airbnbs and condos. Temple Mortgage, 757-567-6700.
Can't get the cash you need? It's like having your money locked in a vault. We've got the key. Cash out conventional VA FHA loans down to a 500 score, no doc. Cash out investor loans. Temple Mortgage has the key to get the cash you need. Welcome back to the Empowerment Series featuring myself, Reynard Boyce, the owner of Temple Mortgage. In this segment, we're going to deal with a very serious question about real estate. And the question is this: why aren't sellers paying closing costs in this current market? Philip, let me ask you a question. Why aren't sellers paying closing costs in this market?
Well, the thing is, there's for every house being sold, there are 10 buyers.
Wow, 10 buyers for every house?
For every house.
Okay.
So literally, the seller's not going to pay closing costs because somebody's going to always offer them more than what they're asking for,
Okay.
because they want the property just that bad, or somebody else is going to offer to pay the closing costs and not worry about repairs. There's always going to be something in there where a seller's going to say, why should I pay your closing costs
Right.
when there's all these other options for me?
Right, in the terms of other buyers.
Other buyers,
And you know,
correct.
Philip, one thing that we're really suffering in this area is the fact that we have an influx of persons from New York, from California, and persons are bringing that money where they've sold their property or cashed in their whatever investment vehicle, and they're literally buying some of these houses cash. And so how do you compete with cash?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know,
exactly.
that's
Simplest
just,
transaction.
It's a simple transaction. So what I'm finding that, but you know, one problem that we have in this area is that as the price of houses have increased probably 40 to 50% over the last 2 years, income has remained stagnant. Now, I know we
Very
get into a
true.
little economics, but that's one of the material facts that's stopping people, because the median income in this area is only $40,000. But the average house, when I first got into business, I'm dating myself, in 1991, a starter house was 50 to 60,000. A decent house was 80,000. A pretty good house was 120. You could get the bomb for 165, and you were in Church Point at 200. 300 was just wow. That was that Nick Politano and Burt Revis type property. Those cats, you know, that were master builders. Now 300,000 barely moves the needle. The mortgage payment in today's market, at the rates being an average of 6%, the mortgage payment on $300,000 house is about $2,500 to $2,600. So if you make $50,000, that's $2,500 a month gross before taxes. And that means you can have no debt,
Wow.
right?
Wow, yeah.
Zip, zero, nada.
When you put it like that.
It's just simple math. And the thing that scares me is that, you know, we get calls all the time where people say they don't have any money. We get that call,
We do
right?
get those calls often.
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 I don't have any money. And even when it comes to vets, and now we're going to talk about that more in the next series, but that's something that vets need to keep in mind. You do pay closing costs. You can't pay more than 1% in origination fee, but vets do pay closing costs. And so that's a problem that many vets come to the table feeling as though, because I'm a veteran, I don't have to pay closing costs. And we've had that experience quite often, haven't we?
Very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole notion of wanting to buy a house and not being prepared and not having any money, that day is over.
Done.
It's over. It is over. It is completely over. We're in a completely different market. It's a new world. Homes have gone up 50%. Sellers are more aggressive. Sellers are even, and the listing agents, I know I'm gonna get in trouble with the borderillas, but I don't care. Agents even entice and induce buyers to get into bidding wars. Right?
They do.
Because like you said, then they can increase the price of the house.
Exactly.
And people are paying more in some instances. You know, a couple of years ago when the rates were low, there were instances of people paying more than $40,000 above listing price. That's ludicrous. So if you have a little bit of understanding of math, and I'm not a mathematician, but I am a mortgage banker, you never move left of the zero. You're supposed to move this way in terms of value, to the right. So that means you're already upside down in the house. And you alluded to this thing of people waiving inspections. Does that happen?
That does happen. People waive inspections. People will agree to accept the house in its current condition, even though it plays an issue with the value of the house.
Wow.
They just because they want the house just that
Wanted
bad.
this that bad because there's such a shortage.
They say we'll fix it ourselves.
Wow.
We'll fix it ourselves.
Now think about that. You wouldn't go to the car dealer and buy a car without checking it out. You would not get in a car if you saw smoke, black smoke coming out that tailpipe. But that is exactly what we're doing here, is people buying homes, as Philip just stated, without even asking for inspections, because there's such a shortage of houses. That is just unbelievable. Well, those are some of the reasons. I hope that we've covered it well for you in this series. We asked the question, why are sellers rather, not paying closing costs? And a follow-up question, I want to ask Philip, should you wait to buy until the rates drop? Philip, what do you think? Should one wait to buy until the rates drop again?
The common answer for that would be, yeah, because I want a better rate, but the real answer should be no. Mainly because everybody else is waiting till the rates drop. So if you want the house you want, buy now, refinance later. That's what refinances is there for, to get the rates down. Buy now, refinance. Do not wait until the rates drop, because you're going to be right back in that same situation we just got done talking about.
Amen.
Where it's going to be 10 buyers for one house.
That's right.
And now you're in a bidding war.
Now you're
waiving inspections. Now you're stuck with a house with a bad roof, or whatever the case is. It's so many different scenarios could go left if you wait until the rates drop. And just like it was once upon a time not too long ago, where the rates were low, and everybody was buying.
Wow.
The houses were going for, I've seen one go for over $100,000 more than what it was worth.
I heard there was a case in Connecticut where that happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's crazy. So why would you start your loan upside down? Same thing like you just said with a car. Why would you start upside down?
Wow. You know, that it's, I wish I could just be a genie and pop into the house of so many of my veterans especially are not buying. And that's very troubling to me, because the prevailing thought is I'm going to wait until the rates drop. And I can't say any better than what Mr. Thomas just stated. You're going to be right back. You have a radio commercial that talks about that. You're going to be right back where you were. It's like, just dial back. We have such short memories, Philip.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Just dial back 2 years ago. And it was a stampede. It was literally a stampede of buyers, 10 and 12 buyers for one house. And the sellers, like we just talked about, took advantage of it. But the thought is that so many of you have is that I'm going to wait until the rates drop, forgetting what happened the last time. And Philip said refinance later. He's absolutely correct. They call it date the rate. You're dating the RATE, because just like rates go up, rates will come back down. But while you're waiting, playing the long game, so is everybody else.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so then you're going to jump back into that pot that is boiling hot, by the way, of buyers who want to get the same house that you do. And we talked about persons coming from other locales with money that can pay more, will pay more. And let me just say this. As a Christian, we know that we're not supposed to be anxious for anything. So we don't overpay for houses. We don't let people merchandise us. We find a house that suits our budget, that fits our needs. But waiting is working perfectly for the landlord. What are rents like right about now?
Ooh, too high.
What's typical rent for a 3-bedroom?
For a 3-bedroom, typical rent at least $2,200.
Good. What?
At least $2,200.
$2,200.
Yes, for a 3-bedroom.
For a 3-bedroom.
1.5 bath, not even 2.
Whoa. Now we stated that $2,500 is the mortgage payment on a $300,000, maybe $325,000 house, depending on your credit. So you rather make the landlord rich. You know, I have an issue with landlords that don't fix anything, leaky pipes. And once again, there's such a need for housing that now the landlords are starting to exploit people. Some of them always have, by the way. But landlords are exploiting people, taking advantage of people. 5 and 6 people trying to pay rent, $2,500. And that itself is obscene. But we put ourselves often in a position to be merchandised because we're listening to the wrong voices. You're watching all these TV shows talking about the rates dropping, but guess what? What we keep saying is that there's going to be that same stampede of people trying to buy the same one house. Now, let me ask you a question, because we talked about vets not having to pay, thinking they don't pay closing costs when they do. And we talked about why are people not buying, because they're waiting for the rates to drop. But I have a passion for vets. Right. We do lots of VA loans at Temple Mortgage. Veterans have something that I think that they don't really appreciate or they don't understand the significance of it. And that is that certificate of eligibility. What does that empower them to do?
Purchase.
Simple answer, right?
Mm-hmm. Purchase. Mm-hmm. Yeah, powers on the purchase, and just because of their service.
That's right. Thank you for your service, by the way. And it enables them to purchase with no money down. So there's no reason why there's so many vets not buying. I'm gonna throw something at you. If the average house is $300,000 and you have $300,000 in buying power, and you have zillions of vets that have not utilized their certificate of eligibility, how much money have they given back to the United States government? You ever thought about that?
I can't even fathom a number.
The number is unfathomable,
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
If you think of every vet, I'm talking to you, veterans that are paying somebody else's rent right about now. You haven't used that certificate of eligibility that you earned. Some of you have lost limbs. You have been traumatized, and we certainly thank you for your service. You have protected this nation. You have been estranged and separated from your families, your loved ones, your children, your husbands and your wives. So you earned it. They didn't give it to you. They did not give it to you. You earned it. So with having paid such a dear price, why are we not using this certificate of eligibility? It's a gift. It's not a gift. It's something that you earned, right? You earned this certificate. It certifies you to buy. But we got another little issue here. And that issue is we have all these vets that have certificates of eligibility, but they're being denied. We'll talk about that in our next segment.
For free consultation, call the experts at Temple Mortgage LLC today. Attention all vets. Rent for a 4-bedroom home is $2,100. Stop paying rent. Even with lower scores, we can help you buy a home. Call Temple Mortgage today. Use your VA eligibility to get your loan. Don't make the landlord rich. Call now.
Been denied for a mortgage, got a blemish, judgment, collection or two? At Temple, we can do loans for VA down to a 560, FHA down to 580, and Fannie Mae down to a 620. See Reynard Boyce. At Temple, we make it simple. And we're back in the Empowerment Series with Reynard Boyce featuring Philip Thomas. Now we got to finish this last segment about vets. And Philip, I have a question. If we have so many vets in this area honorably discharged and they have their certificate of eligibility, why are so many of these vets being denied? What's the problem?
They're being denied because the VA doesn't have a score requirement.
Okay.
But the lender, the banks, the big box people, they do.
Okay.
They do.
All right.
So for an example, they might say you require you to have a 650 credit score.
Wow, 650.
For what reason when the VA doesn't even have a score requirement for you to be eligible to use your certificate?
Wow. Now that's compelling because the VA historically, as you just stated, very matter-of-factly, has never required that a veteran have a credit score. Because, you know, we've done some loans for persons with absolutely no credit score. Mm-hmm. But then these banks come back and they ask for, as you said, high credit scores. Let me ask you a question. We'll get a little messy for a minute. What part does the real estate agent play in this denial? Or do they play a part?
On paper, no, they don't play a part. But verbally, in person, there can and has, and I've seen personally, a large level of illegal word to use in real estate, steering.
Okay. Steering. Who are they steering to?
The big box.
Okay. So, in other words, we're saying that the real estate agents, many of these big brokerages, have relationships with major lenders, big lenders. And so they are basically steering or directing or nudging the veteran towards a particular mortgage company.
Correct.
When we know that we have consumer choice, which is established long ago, right? That's a federal right, consumer choice, opt in, opt out, right? Okay, and that came under the Obama administration with the CFPB, Consumer Fraud Protection Bureau. But let's go back to the nature of it all. These agents are working with these mortgage companies. They form these quasi-conglomerations, and they are pushing veterans to certain mortgage companies.
Also known as the preferred lender for my
I
brokerage.
like that. The preferred
The
lender.
preferred lender.
And what happens when the preferred lender doesn't like the fact that your score is less than a 650, 670? And you know, some of them have acronyms in their name that would suggest to you that they're military friendly. But what happens then? What happens to the vet? He's denied, and what?
He sits there. Or they go to the preferred credit repair company or the preferred whatever.
Oh,
that they
another way
need-
to merchandise
another way
a vet.
to merchandise a
To
vet.
get more money.
Correct. For no reason.
Wow. But at Temple Mortgage, we can do scores down to a what?
580.
580. And if you have no score, we can even do a loan for that. We don't have any preferred agents, any preferred relationships with any particular person. We're going to work on your behalf, Mr. or Miss Veteran. And a lot of our female vets are grossly underserved. They've served as well. And I want to put a plug in for that because often we think of a vet, we think of a male. But many women fight for this country and successfully. So we want you to know we're here to serve you also.
For free consultation, call the experts at Temple Mortgage LLC today.
Hey veterans, talking about purchasing a home. I know that interest rates are up, but so is rent. And why would anybody continue to make the landlord rich? Veterans, use your certificate of eligibility and stop paying rent. With the VA loan, there's so many benefits. No money down, easy and liberal underwriting conditions, and often no real estate taxes. Plus, you can get approved down to a 580 score, and that's significant. It's a perfect time to buy a home. Homes are sitting on the market longer, and because of that, there are fewer buyers and more homes. Consequently, sellers are paying closing costs. Now is the time to buy. Let Temple Mortgage help you get your loan approved today, and then you can refinance later when the rates fall again. Get approved today and close in 30 days. Now is the time to buy. Call 757-567-6700. Why would anybody continue to make the landlord rich? Call 757-567-6700.
I'm Reynard Boyce, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching the Empowerment Series with Reynard Boyce and Temple Mortgage. Temple Mortgage has been in business since 1996. It's been our pleasure to serve the people of Tidewater and Greater Virginia. We thank God for keeping us in business. 30 years when many other companies folded, God has found fit to keep our flag planted and to still be in business. We love the business of helping people. We're here to help. We're here to serve. We're here to turn no's into yeses, to become empowered and to become homeowners. And in my final remarks, I want to encourage you to adopt a public school in your city, whether you be a pastor, whether you be a church, whatever group you may be, or just a private soul individual. Adopt a school. Schools, especially public schools, all schools are in need of so many supplies. There are children that don't eat. There are children that need shoes. There are children that need underwear. There are children that need clothes. There are children that even need a hug. So I admonish you to adopt your local public schools. You can just go to the principal and, hey, I can guarantee they will not refuse your offering. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you, Mr. Philip Thomas, for being my very special guest on today.
Thank you.
Thank you much.